Yeah, so I started teaching like immediately after 2015 when I got my PhD. I started doing some contract teaching and such, and was on the postdoc kind of job market. Um, but as I got more into intelligence history and the field, I thought that really maybe I should actually consider that as a career, because it just spoke to me, right? So I ended up getting involved in Canadian intelligence and the federal government of Canada here. And when I entered that too, it was a big eye opener for me in understanding more about the general threats that we face, right? The West face, and you get more of that obviously in depth look, but for me, it was also important that when I entered intelligence, I did all aspects of the job that I could do. And I had really open minded supervisors who allowed me to kind of do that. So there was a number of aspects of the job that I got to see and do. And because I felt that, really understanding how the sausage is made, so to speak, made me better as an analyst, because that's what I was. And you get an in-depth view on things that really kind of change your perspective. And then when I left government, I went back into teaching, with an eye towards looking for that tenure track opportunity. And what I noticed quite quickly was the conversations about China, in terms of how they were happening in the public realm. And you know, decades had gone by, and in Canada here, and I just continually saw in terms of the histories that were written, the diplomatic histories did not have the intelligence history. And I thought, how can you tell that diplomatic story of where we ended up with China if you don't tell the intelligence side? And I took my cues from Christopher Andrew in Britain, who said that that intelligence history is an integral part of diplomatic history. And I thought, you know what, there's a void here, and that needs to be filled.